So the Renaissance time was pretty brutal when it came to its torture and cruelty, as we saw in the Museum of Cruelty at the Renaissance Festival in Texas.
Yeah, it was pretty gross. It was disgusting. I would hate to be alive during that time and then commit a crime, something small as, I don't know,
stealing food because you were hungry.
Stealing food because I was hungry.
And then they just starve you more.
Or look at somebody the wrong way. And then I get tortured that way. That's horrible. And the fact that they had a live skeleton there.
Yeah.
A live skeleton. That sounds so stupid. The fact that they had a skeleton there. A real skeleton. I don't know why it shocked me. It's just like, do they know who skeleton? They should know who skeleton that is. That's.
I don't know. It didn't have a name or anything. So to me, it just could have been an unidentified skeleton. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. All right, so we just checked.
What is going on, YouTube? What's up? This tattoo?
I never
We are
Travel Battles.
And this is our podcast,
Outside the Wire.
So what's up, Battle Buddies? Welcome back to Travel Battles, Outside the Wire podcast. Today, if you are watching here on YouTube, you can see a little bit about what we are talking about with my Shrek ogre ears that I'm wearing. A little bit of what we just came back from.
Yeah, we literally just got back from the Texas Renaissance Fair. And that was a crazy experience. The whole thing was different.
So it was about a 3-hour drive from where we are. And we just got back this morning. It was basically a quick little weekend trip. We left Friday after work. All day Saturday, we were at the Renaissance Festival. And then we got to sleep in for once a little bit this morning and made the drive back. And it's definitely an exhausting but fulfilling event. That was a great experience.
That was actually the first time I've ever tried Mead too. And it was everything I expected it to taste like and more. So Mead is like a type of honey, right? That's what they say. It's a type of honey, like kind of fermented.
It's a honey wine.
It's a honey wine. It's a type of honey. It's a type of honey wine that is fermented. And it just tastes like honey. It tastes like a Moscato, like we mentioned in the video. It tastes like Moscato mixed with just honey. It was amazing. It was really good.
So speaking of drinking, what are you guys drinking in the comments down below? I'm just drinking a Sprite today.
I'm drinking a water. God, stay hydrated, right? No, I'm drinking water because it's been a long weekend. I drank a whole bottle of Mead. And I felt fine up until like around midnight. And I guess just all the sugar just got to me. I was just feeling so dehydrated. And I mean, we're not in our 20s anymore. I think I didn't drink as much as you, and I'm still struggling. And I also have a work event to go to later tonight. So just taking it easy tonight. Not going to rush right back into it. And that 3-hour drive back too.
Yeah, it was brutal.
And I know 3 hours isn't a lot, but 3 hours there and then spend the whole night there and then come right back the very next day. It's tiring. And like you said, we're not 20 anymore. I'm exhausted, man.
Yeah, came back, take a little nap, and now we're filming this.
So anyway, we were nervous when we first got there because I didn't know like if there was a rule or anything like how you should dress at the Renaissance Fair, and my anxiety, right? I was looking up some things, and it said you don't want to buy your costumes from Party City or any chain store that sells Halloween costumes because it cheapens the look and it can, I guess, cheapen the event, so to say.
I mean, I feel like if this is your thing, like you go to these Renaissance festivals consistently, I would definitely invest in a good quality one. But if you're just going just to have fun like we did, you're not going to be the only one if you do get an outfit from Spirit Halloween or Party City or your local party store. Do what makes you feel good and just have fun with it. Don't overthink it like we started to.
I mean, I think, didn't we see somebody wear like a dinosaur costume?
Yeah, people were wearing blow-up dinosaur costumes like they were riding dinosaurs. I mean, if that's how you perceive the Renaissance times and medieval times, go for it, I guess. I guess they thought they were like a dragon slayer, a dinosaur slayer.
Oh yeah, and then we saw Demon Slayer characters there. We saw I saw Zenitsu, and then I saw Tanjiro at the end once we left.
I saw Nezuko too.
You saw what
in the show?
Heck?
We even saw Chucky
And a bunch of Disney characters. We saw Hunchback of Notre Dame,
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, and then Harry Potter. Hagrid was there.
Oh my gosh.
What the heck?
Hagrid and Professor McGonagall.
And this is what I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting to see all of this stuff there. I was expecting, you know, like wizards and goblins and ogres. That's what I'm thinking. And we come in there, and that is kind of like all we saw when we first got there. And as the event opened up, it was like it was just different. It was anything you can imagine. It was out there.
No, there were definitely people there that were serious. This is something they plan months in advance, even probably a year in advance. This was an intense event, but there are also people who were there just to have fun with it like we were. And thank goodness, because it made me feel a little more at ease, even though I saw about 3 other women with the same outfit as me. However, they were all
boosted your confidence, though. That should have been like, okay, you know, you're not the only one that thought to go to Party City and grab a costume.
I mean, yes, but they were also all wearing it the way the package showed. They were there as the medieval princess. I'm not sure exactly what the costume like labeled itself as, but I switched a few things around and boom, Princess Fiona was created.
So on the event map, it did say to arrive at least 2 hours early. So actually arrive anytime before 10 o'clock because the hours of 11 and 2, is that what it says?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's where the traffic is most heaviest, and that's because of the construction, because they had construction going on there, and it's just a one-way lane. I mean, well, 2, right? The opposing lane. And it was backed up for a minute. It was, I want to say maybe 15 minutes, but it's because we were waiting on a charter bus. But we didn't we didn't get there around 11. We got there like around 10, 15 or so. So we avoided most of the traffic. But
I mean, we actually arrived after opening. We were planning on being there when the gates opened, but we took a little bit longer to get ready. Mm-hmm. And I was really impressed to see that they had police kind of directing traffic to keep it running smooth, because it could have gotten worse.
What shocked me a little bit is once we got to the event, they didn't check our bags. Mm-mm. There was no metal detectors. There was nothing of security in the front.
No, they didn't even ask to open your bags.
Mm-mm. I mean, I was expecting, you know, that's like the ticketing booth, right? You walk in, you get your tickets, or you show them your little coupon voucher or whatever, and then you keep going forward, and then you'd be greeted with security. There was no security.
No, nothing. I mean, they did have like the ticketing area, the little booths if you didn't already have your tickets. Luckily, we already bought ours ahead of time, so we didn't even have to go to will call. We went straight into the gates, and that's where they just scanned it and said, welcome in. That was it. There was nothing, no checking your bags. Like, we brought bottles of water, obviously, to make sure we stayed hydrated, but I mean, they didn't ask about anything.
I mean, the frequently asked questions on the website didn't really specify much information. I mean, I was trying to look for stuff for like camera equipment, like can you bring camera equipment? And it just kept reverting back to the media. Like, if you're media, you're authorized to bring this amount of stuff, this and that. But it wasn't really, it was vague. It was kind of vague, I think.
Mm-hmm. And this is, I think, like what, the 41st or 42nd annual?
I don't remember.
This has been going on for quite a long time. It's not like it's the first or second, like it's new. This has been a long running event, so I'm surprised that they don't have that in place. But I'm wondering if it's just because nothing has happened so far. Like, it's a safety thing. They don't see it much of a big deal because they haven't had a situation occur, which is good. Everyone there was very nice, accommodating, so I didn't get any feeling or vibe like that anything scary, I guess, has occurred or could occur there. It was a very
and I agree with you. I actually feel like because there haven't been any well, I don't know, I'm not 100% for sure if there have been any incidents in the past, but I feel like because there haven't been any incidents, that's why security is very lax and lenient. So that's probably why they don't have those added measures. But I would feel better if they did have that there just in case. I mean, Every event has it. FanCon or Fan Expo had it.
Mm-hmm. The fair has
it. The fair has it.
I mean, especially we already know, like when we go in any event like that, with us carrying our backpacks full of camera equipment and microphones and stuff, it's going to send off the metal detectors. So we do expect that, like they're going to pull us aside, let me check your bags, which it is a bit of an annoyance with like having to take the extra time for someone to go through, but we appreciate it for our safety that they do take those precautions. So I was a bit concerned, but once we got in the event, it was just calm, like the whole vibe. Everything was just very chill, very lax.
Once we got in there, I mean, you're automatically transported into medieval times. All the employees were in character, which was really cool. Even when you try to talk to them, like, hey, like when I went to go get my mead and they were asking for my ID, they didn't say, let me see just your license, please. No, it was, let me see your traveler's port or your traveler's ID. Like as if we're coming from like another universe or dimension or different land. Like, yeah.
That's
so like,
really
it was really cool that everybody was in character like that. I like that.
No, they wouldn't break character at all. Even when we asked the hours later when we decided to finally go back and get a map.
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Don't do what we did. We walked in and, we just bypassed the maps. We didn't know that the people were selling the maps in the beginning, but it was $5 for a map. So, yes, they do accept cash and they do accept credit cards and they accept Sir Amex. And they accept Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Most locations do. There's some that is just cash, but they have ATMs everywhere. So.
But I would always recommend take your cash with you because the service fee to use the ATM there was outrageous. Like $5. Use this too much. Let's get what we need out now because that service fee was outrageous. But it was good. We really needed that cash so we could tip the artists there because they were amazing. But even when we went to talk to the woman that had the map, we were asking her like, hey, I have a question. She wouldn't break character even when we were just trying to like ask her kind of like off to the side a question about something, and she just would not break character.
And the fish and chips, man, I think we got scammed. We paid $21 for fish and chips, and then we went to go get me another Poland sausage. And we found some fish and chips for $12. That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the portion size for the second one, though.
But, I mean, you only got one fish for the first one.
Yeah.
So.
It was a large fish, but I could have gotten 2 meals for the other price, for the price of the one. And the line was ridiculous. But it was right there in the pirate section, so we knew that was going to be a hot spot.
So we walked in, and, I mean, we can't really critique them that hard because it was opening day. So... with opening day being, they only do this once a year, right? Once a year for how long?
I think it goes into November. I think the week before Thanksgiving is their last weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not too long, like a month and a half maybe. Mm-hmm. So they have to prepare, like I'm assuming like months in advance they would have to prepare because they have to set everything up, get the food established there. It's a lot, I feel.
Well,
so we can't really critique them because yesterday was just opening day and they're probably just trying to get into the groove of things and they were just probably overwhelmed with the amount of people that were there. It was packed.
But my question is, the food vendors that were there, is that something that is from the event themselves? Or are they outside vendors like they just find people that are like, hey, I want to be a food vendor at your festival, kind of like the fair. Mm-hmm. Anyone who has like their own food establishment can go in. So I'm starting to wonder, how is that set up? Is it from the festival? Like EDC, when we go there, each food vendor is hired from the company to like come set up. That's why they can price it on their own. So that's like...
I'm really not sure. I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I did hear someone ask the jousting, the jousters, the knights, how long did it take you to practice before this? And they said, we don't practice. Now I don't know if he was just trying to be funny. Like, no, we don't practice. This is what we do. This was our thing. Or
you just staying in character? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, was he just staying in character, or is it literally like, no, we don't practice. This was just something we put together. So that made me think about the food. Is it something they know in advance, or is it these companies that are like, let me come in kind of like the first day of the fair.
I mean, it could be, because you're right. Because what also surprised me of this fair was that the food option wasn't just medieval UK times. It was medieval UK times, medieval Spain times, medieval China times, medieval France, medieval, Mexico. I saw like a little booth. It was just like treats.
Yeah.
Or two booths. They had two booths. Medieval, what else?
Poland, yeah.
It was
Ireland.
Ireland. Like literally every country had its own like little medieval restaurant and little section.
Yeah. It was literally
that was
like
cool. That was really freaking cool, man. It was like Epcot.
It was the world
What we're talking
showcase
about,
of the
literally.
medieval times.
It
Yeah.
was just like Epcot.
They even had it Italy, which obviously they had like pizza and pasta. We didn't get to try that. We were going to, but we made our way back to the other side of the festival where we tried other food instead. But every country, Greece, they had like heroes and stuff for Greece. So they had anything you can think of. So if you're not into like, I just went in there assuming like, oh, turkey legs and
Medieval times, right?
Yeah.
What you would think medieval times, mashed potatoes, peas, and bread, and I don't know what else.
yeah,
And, and mead. But no, that was really cool, man. We didn't try it like all the other sections, like China and Spain. We didn't try those. I mean, because we were there for the fish and chips,
yeah,
some mead,
and the
and then
sausages.
the sausages, right?
Yeah.
We wanted that rustic feel. We wanted to feel like we were in the medieval times, the era that we had in mind.
Yeah, but
But
they
I
had
thought that was cool. That was really cool, though. That was cool.
no. They even had food for kids. Like I didn't see stuff like chicken tenders or anything, but we didn't look. I'm guaranteed there were some places that had it.
Yeah, and mind you, you're not gonna be able to see everything in one day because it's a lot. Like we got turned around a couple times, and then once you get the layout of the land, it's pretty simple, but it's a large area that this event is held in.
Yeah, once you made one turn, you would get encompassed in that area, and you forget all about what track you were on to
And
begin with.
there's lots to do.
Yeah,
Lots
the
to do.
blacksmith area that was really neat. I'm
Yep, the
surprised they had where you can build your own knives and your own swords and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was expensive, but it was really cool for a souvenir.
And the shows, I mean, we couldn't even catch all the shows. There's way too many shows and just not enough time because like one show will start on one side of the event, another show will be at the other side of the event, and then you're hungry, right? You're going to be eating, waiting in line. So, oh man.
And then the
Yeah, I don't even
shows
think
would
you can do
switch.
this. And then, yes. So, I don't know. I don't know if you could do this during a weekend, like a Saturday and Sunday, maybe.
We
Because
heard
it is only a weekend event, isn't it?
Yeah. We also, it's only Saturday and Sundays.
Wow, so it really isn't long now that you think about it.
No.
It runs for 5 weeks, but it's only Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. And we just got lucky with the beautiful weather because if it gets rained out, they are a rain or shine event. You're just stuck in the rain because
And it's nothing but dirt out there. So
Yeah.
if it rains, it's gonna be a miserable time.
and there's nothing. There really wasn't anything fully indoors. You were in tents, like the shops and stuff. They were in like little tents, but nothing like inside. Even the Coliseum or the arena where they did the jousting, it was literally just an open
You're right,
arena,
everything was just open.
and they just had
What
garden
about the
benches.
museum of
Cruelty. Oh yeah, that was the
That was
only
different,
thing
yeah.
indoors. That was a separate.
No, but you're right. Everything was outdoor. So if it was gonna be a hot day, then it would have been really hot.
Yeah,
But no, it was perfect. Yesterday, with the highs was 85.
I think it was only like 70 something. But
Really?
if it got hotter than what I think it was supposed to in the day.
But then that only lasted for like an hour or so, and then it stayed pretty consistent. It was perfect weather yesterday.
Yeah,
Other than the overcast, but it was perfect weather. And
Mm-hmm.
then today's even better too, because as soon as we left the hotel, it felt nice and breezy and cool, like in the 60s, mid 60s.
yeah. Because yesterday was cloudy. Today it was perfect blue skies. So today would have been a much better day to go. And the second day, but
Dang.
we got to see it before, and there
Yeah.
were people consistently cleaning the
Yeah.
park. I keep calling it a park. The grounds, I guess. Like they made sure it stayed very clean.
Yep.
So I appreciated that.
So the shows, we only got to see a handful of shows. Like I said, the park is really big. The event is really big. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but this is the largest Renaissance fair in the entire United States.
Yeah.
The largest.
I couldn't imagine. I think they said it was like, I don't want to butcher this, 60 acres, maybe even more.
Oh man, I don't remember.
Let me look real quick. But yeah, it was, If it wasn't the largest in the world, I couldn't imagine what the largest like Renaissance festival would be and where that would be held. Since 1974.
Wow. And again, I mean, not trying to say anything, but Texas is a very competitive state. They try to do anything and everything bigger and better.
Yeah, and they do.
Like for once, or for one, the event is huge. And they already said it's the biggest in North America or the biggest in the world. The
nation's largest.
So the nation's largest. So the largest in the U.S. So I can imagine who has the largest one in the entire world.
Yeah. And it's on 55 acres of land since...
near 60 acres. Yep. Wow.
Since 1974. And they see about 500,000 to more guests annually.
Wow. And that's only considering they're only open Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
For 5 weeks. Just Saturdays and Sundays. That is insane.
Yep. They're only open Saturdays and Sundays. And then the only weekday they are open is the Friday of Thanksgiving. So that Black
That's an
Friday.
Added bonus.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's their
their last week.
Their finishing weekend. Yep. So we went to the opening weekend for the Queen's birthday.
Yeah. So that might be the best time to go, I feel, would be closing weekend. Because you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Mm-hmm. So if possible, I would say go... Obviously, get down there Thursday so you can get accommodated with lodging and everything else that you need. That way you can just wake up in the morning, get there first thing in the morning. Friday, just mess around Friday, right? Don't even take Friday serious. Just try to get things situated, figure out the lay of the land. Mm-hmm. Saturday, hit up the things that you wanted to see and try to catch things that you didn't get to see Friday, right? And then Sunday, I would say catch those last minute things that you didn't get to see, the things you want to see again, and just do it again. I mean, why not? And the shows are free.
And yeah, I mean, I obviously tip them. That's where they kind of make their money off of them. So they are very hardworking. I know the one band that we saw, they barely made it to this one because they were at another festival in like Minnesota, I think they said, and they made
Michigan.
it only
They're in
Michigan. They made it mere hours before the festival started here in Texas. So
I know we were tired, but we're still in Texas. We just drove. Those guys were tired. Yeah. They're coming from another show and then literally coming right to here.
But their energy was
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I love that nobody was judgmental. Like everybody was happy. Everybody was nice. I mean, there was a couple that actually, sat in our table. We had Aaliyah hold a table while we were waiting in line to get some food. It was literally right across. And, I mean, they just sat next to Aaliyah, right? A whole family. So when you got the food and went back to the table, I was standing up the entire time. And one of the guys there was nice enough and said, "Hey, I'm about to leave. I'm going to go somewhere. I mean, you can sit right here." I'm like, no, I'm fine. That's cool. And what I'm trying to say is that everybody there was nice. I mean, no hard feelings at all. And you actually got a rose. Like they gave you a rose. Yeah.
So they were talking amongst themselves for quite a while before they said something to us. And I think they asked you. I think that's what sparked the conversation. They saw you with the bottle of mead when you bought it over. And they were like, "Is that wine?" Or they were asking what it was. And they already had these giant cups of like margaritas, daiquiris, you name it, sangrias, whatever type of drink you want. They had them in the giant cups. And so they were wanting to know what you were drinking. And then it just sparked conversation. Like they consistently just kept asking. And it was good. It brought us out of our shell because we're very to ourselves. We're trying to come out of that a little more. And they asked if this was our first event. And they're like, "Yeah, man, we come every year." So they were surprised to hear like this was our first event. We drove down just to be here. They started giving us tips and tricks on where to go. You can't miss this show. You have to go do this. So they were really welcoming. And they kind of see everyone there as family. So me personally, if I see someone sitting at a table, I'm not just going to go welcome myself to sit there because, I mean, I don't know if they're holding a table just like Aaliyah was for us. But they're like, we're all family here. So it was really cool. It sparked conversation. And she gave me a rose. It was like made out of wood. I thought it was a fabric or, like artificial rose. It was made out of like a very thin shaved wood. It was so cool. And also don't be afraid to bring your kids to this event. This is also something we were very nervous about. Like I said, we don't go to anything like this, so we didn't know what to compare it to. And we were afraid we were going to go there and the shows were going to be kind of crazy or whatever. They even had little rides, little carnival rides that were medieval themed, obviously, for the kids. They had food for the kids, like Aaliyah got mac and cheese, something that if she wasn't wanting shepherd's pie or whatever else they had, that may have seemed a little outlandish.
That was very kid friendly.
Yeah, they even had funnel cakes, ice cream.
So the jousting, so that was one of the main events that we wanted to see. And when we first got there, we were walking around for a minute. We could not. We walked the entire lay of the land, and we missed the jousting. I mean, and mind you, they have it like every so often, but it's in a coliseum type thing, and you really can't see the field where they would joust because it's high land. It dips down, right? So the coliseum is like down, so it's easy, very easy to miss. And we found it by mistake the first time because we heard the noises. And like, oh, well, there you go. The jousting is there.
It was the one street we didn't go. We went to the other side, literally on the other side, and we heard it.
So it forks off. And when it forks off, there's a bunch of markets in the center. And once you're forked off on the right, it takes you to another area. And then it just circles you all the way around. And then it brings you back to the other side of that fork.
Yep.
And by the time we came back, the jousting was over.
Yeah.
So
it was
easy, very easy to miss. So get the map. You need the map.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know why we went in without a map. I think know
we
why
thought
we
it
didn't
was
even
going to
ask
be
for a map. Yeah.
I think we assume, we're just going to walk it and we'll find everything. No, it was way bigger than we anticipated. And what we saw was big enough. They even had campgrounds for you to camp on. We never even saw that because we didn't go for the camping. We went and parked in the preferred parking. So that was a whole nother area of the park that we didn't get to see. But
that's a whole nother level to that event. I mean, you must be very diehard or very drunk because you can't leave.
Or both, because it's very easy to get drunk with all the meat out there.
And that meat does sneak up on you. I had nothing to eat in that morning, right? So I got a little cup, and I was halfway through that cup, and I was feeling very, very good.
Well, it was new too. We've never had mead before, so it was a different, like, drink that we never experienced before. And also, they had a small section in the UK with butterbeer that was spiked.
Yeah, so I was curious how that would taste, right? And I thought it was like no relation to Harry Potter. You know, butterbeer, right? Butterscotch, right? Just anybody can make it. Anybody can think of making it. But no, I was mistaken because as soon as I got up there, they were playing Harry Potter music.
I mean, it was in the UK section, so
it was, but like, wow, like really, you're really gonna play Harry Potter music over here? I guess to add to the theme, because I mean, it is kind of like medievalish.
I mean, I guess like the witches and goblins and stuff.
I was like, okay, whatever, right? So we tried it, and it just tasted like butterscotch, and I didn't taste the alcohol.
No, I mean, I didn't get to. You drank most of it
unknowingly. I was just sipping on it.
So I didn't get to try most of it, but I thought butterbeer was trademarked.
That's what I thought, yeah.
It was very weird to see. They even had pumpkin juice. I mean, hey.
Yeah, and that's another thing that said the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So
yeah, we didn't try the pumpkin juice though.
I didn't think about that. You're right. That should be trademarked. It is trademarked. Yeah. So how did they get away with that? Like,
probably they changed the stuff so it's not, or maybe they did like butter beer, like separated the word so it's not the same. I'm not sure how they got away. We'll have to look
at those clips again to see, but I'm not sure.
And also, you said they were playing Harry Potter music. When we were in the pirate section, they were playing Pirates of the Caribbean music.
Again, I mean, it goes to show that Disney reigns king when it comes to theming.
Yeah.
And imagination and
Harry Potter like taking the token for the Universal side.
And Harry Potter for the Universal side. So it goes to show, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything, but it's like these are such great ideas and themes that are already out there. It's just they're being recycled and reused all the time.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if they had...
And you're right. The entire event was not like that. It was just certain little areas where you would expect that type of theming, but for the most part, I mean, they had their own little things, unless that was also recycling. We just don't know it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but each country, I guess you would say, each land, we'll say land because it's the Renaissance times, but they were all themed very well. They had their own little pubs, their own bars, their own type shows for their culture. And there was Germany, and the food was what you would imagine. In Poland, then we had the Ireland, and there were the maps, kind of separates everything for what you're looking for. And the one food you were looking for the whole time, it was right at the main entrance. It wasn't really in the UK section. So I feel like that was a little misleading. And they were out by the time we got it. She said that they sold the last one right as we walked up.
So that was a Scottish egg. We've heard a lot about that, actually.
Is it Scottish egg or Scotch egg?
Scotch egg. It's a Scotch egg. And you actually, while we were on our way down there, right, we were watching some YouTube videos, like trying to get an idea of like, what should we try? Just a little tips, right? So we can kind of be mentally prepared for what we were about to encounter. And a lot of the videos didn't really showcase what we showcased, unless we just bypass it. And by that, I mean like seeing other people dressed in different outfits, like not strictly medieval times, but like different things that we were talking about, like us, like Shrek and Fiona.
Yeah. I saw one other Shrek too.
But in these other videos, I didn't really see that being showcased. And I didn't see, I don't know, there's some things that, that I would have liked to see to make
make us more comfortable.
Yeah, with our decisions. So yeah, that Scotch egg was one of them. And unfortunately, we missed it because it was right in the entrance, right? In the entrance, I mean, it's going to get overcrowded. So you're trying to push yourself throughout the event so you're not stuck in the main entrance. So yeah, we come back, we turn around, we're leaving. We got a map now, and we find the Scotch egg, and they told us that they're sold out.
Yeah, she told us to come back tomorrow. I was like, we're going to be back home tomorrow.
And she said, well, we're open every weekend. I'm like, this is another 3-hour drive and another $60 for tickets.
Yeah, and I know it's going to be more packed because each weekend is its own theme. So this weekend was the Queen's birthday. Mm-hmm. So I think they did like a special meal you could have with the Queen.
Have a dinner with the Queen.
Yeah, we didn't do that, the pricing, and I think they were already sold out of the times by the time we saw it, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember. I know you pulled it up last week, and it was like $140 to have dinner with the Queen.
Or like tea. They have different ones.
Oh, yesterday they didn't have tea because it was the Queen's birthday. Mm-hmm. But it was like $145 per person.
Yeah. And you have your own personal show with them. I think the weekend of Halloween, they're going to have All Hallows Eve where you can come dressed. Don't let it kind of like steer you away. There were people dressed as literally like Pokemon. There were people dressed as Chucky. Literally everything. Now, most people were dressed as either pirates or the Renaissance, like knights and stuff like that. But just come dressed as you love, because everyone already was. I was expecting that to happen a little more during the All Hallows Eve, where it's like their big Halloween party back then. And then they had another theme. But each weekend is like its own special occasion and different deals and packages you can purchase extra with all that. So unfortunately, we didn't get to do any of that, but we were overwhelmed as it was, so it's fine.
So like we were saying, every weekend they have something different going on. And so speaking of different events, so every event has a different price. So I thought it was one consistent price, and then there's like other hidden fees amongst taxes. So for the Queen's birthday, that was actually the cheapest price that they have. It was like $17 per ticket. And then it was like $4 for taxes per ticket.
Yeah, $5 for like their processing fee, which...
And then $5 for processing fee.
Mm-hmm.
And then we purchased the insurance. And then we ended up spending like $60 in tickets.
Yeah, it kind of doubled in price, basically.
Yeah, so it's at $17 per ticket, and we ended up paying $60. And this was just for you and me. And what's really cool is on opening day and opening day weekend, all children under 12 get in for free.
Yeah.
And it's advertised too. And they don't even check their tickets. It's like that's what I like about this event. They seem to all be very well coordinated, and there's a lot of communication going amongst everybody within the staff.
Well, when you went to purchase tickets, they didn't even have the children option available on there because it was just like, no, you're not buying tickets. And you said it was every Sunday too, right? That's free, like after the opening day weekend?
I don't think so. I think it was just opening day weekend.
Oh, really? Okay.
I could be wrong, but last I read, it was just opening day weekend where children getting free 12 and under. And then every other week, there's different events, and they range in price. And I think the most expensive one was probably the Hallows Eve one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one came up to like $50 or $60 per ticket.
Yeah, I think that's the most popular one.
So that would probably come up to about $80 with all the fees and stuff.
And then parking.
Yep, parking.
Let's say you have the ability to pay for parking when you get there. But pay for parking when you buy your tickets because you save about $4 or $5, which doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, that'll buy you a pickle at the park.
Yeah.
Literally, the pickles were like the cheapest thing you can buy there.
But the pickles, if you go to the park, buy the Polish sausage on a stick.
The kielbasa, yeah.
Buy the kielbasa sausage on a stick and then buy a pickle and eat them together and you'll thank me.
Yeah, you could buy the pickles anywhere, but they sell them right there in the Poland area with the sausages. Probably the best meal we had all around, actually. So
parking?
Yeah, parking. We paid for parking ahead of time, and you can pay for it when you get there. They have general parking. They have the preferred parking, which I think online you can only purchase preferred parking. And then you have valet parking. Now, valet parking stops at a certain time. So if you're planning on being there from open to close, like after the fireworks, I recommend not even doing valet parking because it ends at like 6. So an hour or 2 hours, I think maybe 5 or 6. So an hour or two before the park ends or the event ends. So valet would have done nothing for you. I think most people went general. I don't even know what the price was because we prepaid for our preferred. It is so much faster to just pay for it with your tickets because they send you all the barcodes. And when we went up, we didn't have to deal with cash. We didn't have to deal with payment. He's like, oh, you're already ready for me. And then we just held the barcode up. But he was in character right away from the beginning.
He didn't say, oh, you're ready for me. He said, oh, you're ready for me, my lord.
And he just scanned the code and gave us our little hanger to put in our dash. And we were good to go. It was so quick and easy. And they have little parking attendants to guide you each step of the way to keep it organized.
Yeah, so that's what I really loved about this too. I mean, it was really well structured, organized. I don't really see any flaws. And then after eating all that food, of course, bathrooms. The bathrooms were clean. I don't know about the women's bathroom, but on the guys' bathroom, they had a janitor guy. Well, he was also in character too. As a peasant, but he was there.
Aww.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything like that.
Well, he was there cleaning the bathrooms, and of course he had like his little thing for tips and stuff. So he was in there cleaning the bathrooms. And what's really cool for the men is that they had, the urinals, right? It's standard urinals, right? You go to the bathroom next to somebody, and then they had urinals that had dividers on each side. Wow. I thought that was pretty cool.
For if you're shy?
Yeah, for those that are shy. I mean, I don't really care because, I mean, it's just I'm an adult and you get used to, to whatever. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, I didn't get to use the restrooms until later in the evening anyway. So obviously by then they were cleaner than like your typical fare. No porta potties, thank goodness. Thank the Lord. They were all actual brick and mortar style restrooms with running water and everything. So, and yeah, clean. It, considering it was the end of the night by the time I walked into one. Aaliyah said the water was green. I was like, maybe it was theming because this was like back in the day when they didn't have like filtration. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. But otherwise, running water to wash your hands, proper paper towels to dry, not those air dryers. I hate those. I feel grosser walking out after that than anything. So, yeah, they did really well with everything. Plenty of tables to sit and eat, too.
Definitely. They had a lot of areas to sit down and eat. The prices for the food are actually not bad at all.
Except the fish and chips that we bought.
Because, I mean, well, except for that. But like, everything else is pretty freaking good. Like, it was not that expensive. I mean, the prices were probably raised maybe 20% or 15%. I mean, based on like average things from a restaurant. And that's what I like. I mean, because it seemed more reasonable. Like, check out this. There was a turkey leg, right? For $10. A turkey leg. Where can you get a freaking turkey leg for $10?
Now, they did say that was the Queen's birthday special. So that was the special price just for this weekend alone for the Queen. I guess she demanded turkey legs for everyone on sale. So $10, that's literally like less. That's more than half of what at the Texas State Fair was.
I was about to say, I mean, the Texas State Fair opening day weekend, they weren't $10. Closing weekend when we went, they weren't freaking $10.
No.
So the fact that, this Renaissance fair did that, even if it's just for opening day weekend, okay. I mean, but $10?
I
That's
saw
really affordable. That's really good.
And people were taking advantage of it. I saw so many people walking around with turkey legs, more than like any other meal throughout the day.
We did not get a turkey leg.
No, I wanted the sausage.
That sausage, and then I got hooked on that sausage.
That's all I wanted.
That sausage was freaking good. Because I had a turkey leg. I like turkey legs, but if I eat one, I'm full for like 6-7 hours. Like that can hold me over. That turkey legs are giant and just full of protein.
So to me, a turkey leg is a turkey leg. I'm particularly, even during Thanksgiving, I'm not grabbing a turkey leg. I go for the, turkey breast and stuff. So I'm okay skimping out on that. Mm-hmm. The sausage, that's not really typical for every day. So I thought that was really cool, delicious. And then the fish and chips, when I saw it on another video, I'm like, I have to have that. It just looks so good. It was the taste. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. It was comparable to Three Broomsticks.
Yes.
It was so good. The fries were different, so you can't compare those.
The fish was very fresh. Like when I say fresh, I mean when you open the breading from the fish,
flaky,
very flaky, white. Mm-hmm. It was very clean tasting.
It was too hot to eat because we had to wait for it to come out fresh. I think the demand was higher than their, the product they were able to keep going. Mm-hmm. But it was worth the wait. Not sure it was worth the price because I could have gotten it cheaper.
$21. Yeah, it's a little
steep, but that was the price we had to pay to get what we wanted. Mm-hmm. And at the time, that's the only place we saw it at.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, the fish was pretty decent sized. I mean, but still $21.
I mean, even outside of the Queen's birthday weekend, I asked the woman at the stand, like, how much are the turkey legs otherwise, like when it's not during the Queen's birthday? And I think she said like $18. 18 pounds.
Still not 18 pounds. And that's still not bad. 18 pounds? Mm-mm. That's not bad at all.
No. I'm not sure if they were the same size. I really didn't take a good look at them. Were they the same size as the Texas State Fair?
I would imagine so.
I mean, either way, they were still big.
On the Texas State Fair, there are 24 tickets.
Yeah.
Or $24. Mm-hmm. So 18, 19, 22, 1, 2, 3, 24. Oh my goodness, $6 more.
You can get a whole another meal, not meal, but like another snack for that price.
Yeah, a pickle.
Yeah. 2 pickles. The pickles were the cheapest thing, and they were $3. I wish I would have gotten another one. They were your classic pickles, but they were delicious, especially with it being hot. You need that sodium. Mm-hmm. It was good. So that and the funnel cake was good. It was $9. That
funnel cake was really good. I like that funnel cake.
I mean, it was $9, so it was comparable to the fair. I paid $10 for the one that we had at the Texas State Fair. And they had like a little cinnamon sprinkle on it. It wasn't just powdered sugar. But the experience at that stand still kind of soured it for me. I'm not going to tear them down. I know it was opening day weekend. They were kind of struggling.
I was about to say, I mean, it was opening day weekend. So, I mean, you can't really fault them.
She tried making it up, but let's just say other guests were served many times before we even got ours. So we were kind of looked over after we paid, but after everything, we still got our food. It was good.
Like I said, they were probably overwhelmed because again, it was opening day weekend and the staff in the back, they didn't speak English. So, I mean, that, the language barrier also, played a big factor. And then some of the employees didn't even speak English. So the ones that were in the front, so that kind of that's what makes me wonder if it was like they were all flustered.
Yeah, they're gonna get the hang of it. I think through
once they get their momentum,
time. You can
tell. But now that I think about it, it's every weekend, so they don't have enough time to really. Well, then again, they do because of the demand. So they're consistently, having to keep adapting. So yeah, I feel like they probably got it down pat after this weekend.
But that's what makes me wonder: is it once again like people just hired to serve food at these stands from the festival, or are they outside sourced? Because you can tell those who were kind of newer to working the festival and those who were seasoned. Like,
Yes, like the one guy that served my mead, this dude was straight in character, man. He looked like some character from God of War or something. Like, it was... A lot of these people take this serious, and then, yeah, you're right.
I mean, even the people, now we finally found your waffle pop for Shrek.
Well, that was you. You wanted that.
Yeah. But they were amazing. Great customer service. When they found out who we were in character, they kind of got a laugh out of that.
And we got a lot of compliments. And again, this is just Party City outfits, and we're not going to make that mistake next year. But then it wasn't really a mistake. But I mean, I think we're going to put a little more thought into doing something different if we come next year.
Yes.
Or to any Ren Fest for that matter. Right?
But I don't think we're just going to go as typical Renaissance characters. I want to do themes, and we already have
do something else. Yeah, something different.
We already have 2 other themes planned, and ironically, it's either Universal or Disney. So we'll have to see who wins.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put a poll up. If we find another festival to go to, we'll put a poll up to see which one would win.
Definitely, because it's fun. This is really fun.
It was our first time ever dressing up. I'm not one to wear dresses, but Princess Fiona, you kind of had to. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I mean, people still knew exactly who we were without... I don't think they would have gotten who we were if we were separate, but all 3 of us together, everyone knew exactly who we were.
Yep.
So even if they didn't say anything to us, I could hear the chatter like, oh my God, that's Fiona. Oh my God, Puss in Boots. Oh my God, there's Shrek.
So what would you have to say to like new people that are coming? Like how us, right? How we are new and we came in, like what to look out for other than the map. The map is a must. Get
The
a
map, once again, just as we say when we plan any trip, stress far in advance. I'd rather stress during the planning process to make things smoother when you're actually at the event. Do all the research you can on the festival website. Watch videos. Now, I know there aren't too many videos, so hopefully our video would help some of you out there that are planning to go to this, because we were overwhelmed.
I don't even know how this video is going to turn out because I had a whole bottle of mead. So...
just do your research, plan your costumes or your outfits, but overall have fun. Like, I would plan what food you want to eat, but I wouldn't make it to where like, okay, let's make an itinerary, because the best part about walking out there, I think, is just planning as you walk around. Like, we never would have sat down and watched some of the shows that we did if we weren't just like, all right, we're overwhelmed. Let's just take a break and sit down. And we ended up enjoying it.
That's really well said, because I mean, we're the type of people that like to, plan things, right? And it can definitely go that route, and it can work really well when you do it with Disney or Universal. I don't think it would really fly that well with the Renaissance, other than maybe show times and kind of work everything around that.
Yeah, because everything else goes based on their own. The Renaissance, they were on their own time, own thing. Like, they're not like Disney where it's a cookie cutter schedule.
Yeah. No, there's something going on everywhere amongst that entire park.
Yeah. Even if you're not in an actual show, there are little side entertainment. When we saw the fairy that was like blowing bubbles.
Oh, and
she was so
SkidMark
sweet.
Steve.
And SkidMark. Oh my gosh.
It's not SkidMark Steve. What is it?
No, I don't.
SkidMark?
Just SkidMark. Okay, his comebacks. He literally lived up to his name, and he was...
Oh no, the comebacks were really hard from
Tomato Torment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy was, well, I don't think nobody was, mad with him, right? Or mad at him.
No.
But man, he had some really good comebacks.
Well, if they were mad, they weren't mad enough to hit him with a tomato, because
Everybody was missing.
Yeah.
And then he had something to say. And then the Wench.
Drench a Wench.
Drench a Wench.
Wow. Yeah, we were just walking and ran up on him. I could have sat there probably all day just listening to their insults. It was so funny to me.
Honestly, bring a chair, bring some mead, and just sit there and just watch the show, because that right there was a really good show to watch. I mean, they had really clever comebacks. The Drench a Wench, hers were more like...
Toned down, I feel.
More about offending the husband if you were there together with or your boyfriend or whatever, right?
Yeah. But the guy that was you threw tomatoes at, he was not holding back.
Oh, to teenagers, everybody. And there's a sign up there saying too, like, there's some cruel, offensive humor. I don't think he drew the line with teenagers, obviously.
No.
But like with adults, I mean,
I mean, for
he dug deep.
For young children, obviously, he started like flipping off the crowd. That to me, it was like, okay, obviously we don't really shield Aaliyah from too much. She knows what that means and she knows not to do it.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not to my child, I'm not too worried about it. But if you're one of, a family that has a younger child that you don't want them to see it, okay, maybe I would steer away from that area. There is an area just for kids that is kid friendly.
I mean, a lot of the jokes were, adult jokes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it wasn't really anything, very explicit or anything.
No,
like
they
that.
weren't like cussing or anything.
No, it wasn't
but
anything like that.
I mean, if you think about it, a wench, they're not the most family friendly. Anyway, so they were simply in character. It wasn't anything personal. They were just in character having fun. And I think the crowd was really enjoying it too.
Oh, the crowd was eating it up.
But it was a little expensive. I wanted to...
Oh, yeah, like $20 a bucket?
Yeah.
And you only get like 5 tomatoes?
I don't know how many fit, but they cut them in half. And it was messy. Everyone that threw tomatoes had like seeds and stuff all over them. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I'm good. Nope, I don't want any part of it. But it was interesting. It was entertaining to watch.
So do you have any more advice? Any other advice for like newcomers?
Try food that you typically wouldn't. Because where else are you going to try food like that? To really get in the feeling and the emotion of, that time. Eat the food and dress up.
Honestly, I'm about to say the same thing. I feel like dressing up really
brought us into
the mood. I felt like I was in a part of a Renaissance period. The way we were dressed up. I get it. It's Shrek, right? But
we were in a fairy tale.
I felt like we were a part of the theme.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really cool, man.
I do think if you want the full experience, dress up. Even if it's something small, something minor, dress up. And if you do have younger kids, let them dress up. Like I said, the kids, they were having fun. They didn't care what they were doing. Let them go to Walmart for all you care. Like, let them get a fun costume. It's Halloween time. There's costumes everywhere.
Yeah. Go to a thrift store and just, you know what? The easiest outfit you can probably wear is the peasant outfit.
Peasant clothing.
I wear a peasant shirt every time I go to sleep. It's oversized. So honestly, just buy an oversized shirt and then find some slacks from the thrift store and make your own shoes, I guess.
I honestly feel like if you dress up even the slightest, your whole experience is going to be elevated because I wanted to say cast members, but the Renaissance goers, whether it be the guests or the people who work there, they fully interact with you. I mean, they're going to either way, but when you're in a t-shirt and stuff, they might hold back a little bit more. When you're dressed, they know like they can go full in character mode with you, and it sparks conversation with people that we typically wouldn't have had. So I thought it was fun.
I'm a firm believer that like even though you have cast members there, the crowd is what really helps bring everything to life. And when you have festival goers that are dressed and playing the part, it adds to the entire environment.
Yeah. And we were going to dress up for Mickey's Not So Scary and we held back. So the fact that we didn't hold back.
We were very skeptical and, what's the word I'm looking for?
We were just a little nervous and kind of anxious over it. So
being judged and yeah.
That's where we're kind of just slowly coming out of our shell. But we planned this in a week.
That is true. Yeah, we only had a week to plan. This was the last minute thing. Especially because we found out that it was 3 hours away. And we're like, oh, man.
Yep. We were nervous about going at that point because the drive. We made it work. A little weekend trip was
We actually left this up to Aaliyah. Like, Aaliyah, do you want to go? And she was all for it. Like, okay, well, we have to go now.
Yeah. We even left it up to her about dressing up. And
it was right after church, actually. We went to church and then we went and got some breakfast. We sat down. We discussed it. And we were talking about media.
Right then.
Can we even bring our cameras in there? Like I said, they don't check anything. I mean, and I think it's because the event is very well put together. The people there are very respectful. So I think there's no need to have security on ground. But
now there were cops. Will say.
I didn't see any cops.
Yeah, there were cops. They weren't like security hired by the festival, like private security. I did see plenty of police.
I saw them in the entrance when you first go in the park. I didn't see any cops inside the festival.
No, I did. And they were actually over there. What caught my attention was there was a police officer standing right behind us when we were watching the Tomato Torment thing. And in my head, I was like, what if someone gets so offended at something this guy says and it sparks a real fight? And then I saw the police officer behind me and I was like, okay. I mean,
and it could happen. I mean, you have, I don't know what people are attending this event.
Think about it.
Anybody can come in here, right?
Think about it. People are drinking out there. You don't
I had
know
a whole bottle of mead, and I'm a different kind of breed. I'm fine. I was fine. I'm not an alcoholic, by the way, but no, I'm fine. There was a lot of people that were trash though. Like as the night progressed, and they weren't being belligerent. I mean, it could be that we missed it or something, but there was a couple people, laying on the benches, right? Because they couldn't get up. And at the end of the night, right before we try to get the Scotch egg, there was a young lady hovered over a trash can with some of her friends. Now, so it goes to show,
they weren't harming anyone.
No, so absolutely not.
They had people taking care of them. So if you are going to go and drink, make sure you have someone there that's going to take care of you. But we did stay away from all the bars and pubs and stuff because it just wasn't our scene. We like to enjoy a drink, a shot. We walked into Odin's Table, which is a winery that is based out of...
And they also do tastings too. And we didn't get a chance to do the tastings. And I'm glad we didn't schedule all these things because even though you get a ticket to the event, there's other ticketed events within the event, if that makes sense. So I'm glad we didn't do that because, this is our first Renaissance Fair and we're only there for a day.
It marks off a good bit of your day.
Yeah, that would take up 2-3 hours of your day.
And it's expensive. Some of them were expensive.
Yeah, some of them are expensive. So I'm glad we didn't do that because it allowed us to get there, roam about the realm, and just really get a feel for the event and try the things we wanted to try at our own pace instead of being restricted to time.
Yeah, so we stayed away from like the Pirates pubs and everything where we knew people were just hanging around there drinking, just as in our scene, especially with Aaliyah. We wanted to keep her safe. But we walked right into Odin's Table later in the day. It was very calm and quiet. Actually, no one was there. I think there was only one other family sitting there or one other group of people.
Yeah.
And a perfect place to sit and watch the fireworks, by the way. Like you could see the fireworks all set up along the bank there. But yeah, go in there and ask them for little tastings of certain drinks. I tried the cotton candy wine there and ended up leaving with a bottle of it because it's something that you can't get anywhere else. Yeah. So it was specific to them and they actually make it here in Texas.
Yeah. And the guy, he was trying to sell me a bottle of mead, and I'm like, "Oh no, I just had a bottle of mead. I don't need any more mead, right?" So he's like, so I asked him, how much is a cup, right? And it was like $8 or something like that. I don't remember.
I think it was like $13.
$13 for the mead?
Yeah, for the wine and mead, because mead is a wine, so that's really all they sold was wine.
Okay, so he was gonna charge me for the cup of it, and he said, "You know what? Never mind. You know what? Here, it's on the house." Yeah. I think it's because we bought the bottle, and again,
sparking
communication, sparked a good conversation, and it was a good conversation. Yeah,
they were really cool and very knowledgeable, and very in character. And ironically, so as we were sitting there purchasing the wine and tasting the meat and stuff, another couple walks up, and the guy's wearing a Shrek shirt, and we just start busting out laughing. And once again, it sparked another conversation. And he's like, "Man, my wife, I wanted to dress up like that. My wife told me no." And so he settled on the shirt instead. But I was like, "No, that's perfect."
Yep.
So we should have taken a photo with them. But once again, our anxiety wouldn't allow us.
Yeah. So the best food item.
Kielbasa sausage on a stick in Poland. Hands down. And with the pickle, too.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that, too. And I wish we would have tried more. But I think we're just so busy just trying to watch everything, watch all the shows. So you're right. I feel like the kielbasa sausage and the pickle together made for a really good meal, a good snack. The best drink.
I think when you're out there, you could get beer, you can get Bloody Marys, you can go to an actual bar and get like cocktails, I believe. But when you're there, drink the mead. That was the drink of the time. Drink it. It's a specialty there at the festival. I guess when in Rome, drink it. So
I agree. And I never had mead. And I mean, it's available, anywhere, but just never had it. And why not have it there? So I think the best drink for me that I had there wasn't the butterbeer.
no.
But it was the mead. I can't remember the name of the mead that I had. Not the one. Well,
You had
it was the first mead that I got.
And I don't think that was an actual setting. I think that was just in the basic marketplace.
Just from the marketplace, yeah.
Yeah, but they do. Each country has like its own version of mead. So ask each one like what are the undertones of it and find the one that's best for you because there were countless amounts of them. I was so
different
overwhelmed.
types, yeah. Sweetness levels range. It's a lot.
But if you want an experience, I would say go to the Odin's table. Even though we didn't do their tasting event, go in there and talk to them and they'll help you find the best drink for you because they are so knowledgeable.
Definitely.
That was fun.
Again, I think this event, I give this event a 10 out of 10. It is very well done. Very well done. And they market themselves as the largest because they are the largest in the United States. But I don't know. Maybe they should market themselves as the best. But I have nothing to compare. We have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
So if you're within the Texas area or within the United States or outside of the United States and you have time, I say check it out. I mean,
It's worth the drive
you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be disappointed at all.
I feel like if you're already in Texas, it's definitely worth the drive. Make a trip out of it, a good little road trip. I thought it was fun. And you can either do the campgrounds there if they're still available or get a hotel nearby. There's so many hotels nearby the area. And I believe it was like right outside of Houston. It's in Todd Mission. So see how far that is from where you are. And I say if we're ever coming back to, maybe if we come back to visit the new Frisco Universal, we might have to make a drive.
Yeah.
We might have to make a trip back down there if it's in the same time frame and see it because I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean,
it's like a huge costume party and themed. So definitely if you love dressing up and you love this time stuff, it's so much fun because it encompasses you in a different time zone. You can also use it as like a history lesson for your kids too, which is what we kind of did for Aaliyah.
Like the museum.
The Museum of Cruelty, which you heard us talk about that briefly in the beginning. It was just the different torture styles back then, which was a little intense. Some were a little gruesome, but nice way to kind of just get away from all the loudness outside too.
And it was really cool to see that sounds really bad. It was really cool to see how people got tortured. No, but it was really cool to see like the history and some of it was pretty gruesome. Like I wonder what some of these people did. It didn't really say.
No, but it's definitely something to see
because and be grateful that we're born in this time and age where, we don't have to deal with that. But I mean,
go to that extent.
Yeah.
But it's part of the experience, I feel. When you really want to see what the medieval times were like in the Renaissance, that is it. So the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I'm glad they had that there too. That way they don't steer away from stuff like that, right? Like don't try to sugarcoat something. Give us the real deal, right?
But they have it separate to where if you don't want to see it.
And it is a ticketed event, right? It's also a ticket, $5 a person. And I'm glad they did that too, right? Because it does take away a little bit, from the fun going part of the Renaissance. Because like you said, it is a little bit heavy, and it's I try to capture some of it and put it on video, but I won't be showing too much on that because it could be a little sensitive.
But I feel like if you're going around like during Halloween, if you go to Halloween Horror Nights, to me, I feel like you can handle this because the theming of it is very similar to Halloween Horror Nights with their gruesome themes and stuff. So definitely, if you're going, I would check it out.
I think it's just a little different because this is stuff that they did do back in the day versus Halloween Horror Nights is just out of your imagination and different things.
Yeah.
If you haven't checked it out, check out the Renaissance Fair, the Texas Renaissance Fair.
Yeah. And once we get our video up, I'm pretty sure our video will go up before this podcast goes up. So if you are watching this or listening to this podcast and you have not seen our Texas Renaissance Festival video yet, go ahead and check it out. I'll link it here as well. Hopefully we answered a lot of your questions and kind of gave you a good rundown so you are prepared when you go. Because once again, we were unprepared, but we made the best of it. That's just what we're
we adapted quickly and we moved on. I mean,
and all three of us agree we would go back in a heartbeat. It was amazing.
Absolutely. I would make that drive again.
Yeah.
But this time with more coordination and kind of already have an idea in my head of what to wear and what to do.
And we will be more prepared to eat more food because now I'm kind of regretting all the food we didn't eat.
I know. So if you haven't already, like the podcast and go over to TravelBattles, our YouTube channel, where the podcast will also be there too.
Yep, you can watch the video version of this if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Head on over to our YouTube where you can watch the video version of our podcast as well as the video that we're discussing and talking about. So you can get the best of both worlds. And you'll also get to see a little more about what we have coming up.
Yep. I wanted to do that. I always wanted to do that.
So thank you guys so much for listening and watching if you're viewing this on YouTube. And we appreciate you guys.
We'll see you on the next episode. And this was episode 2, the Renaissance Fair.